I'm ready.
All right, we are back. Another episode of Plotting. Here
Yes,
we're breaking down shows, movies, media, properties, all sorts of things based purely on the title. See if we can figure out what it is. See if I can figure out what it is. Then we'll dive into it, kind of see how we feel about it. See which one was better, that sort of thing. Now, again, I haven't seen these. I don't know what's coming. I have no idea. But you got something good picked out for us today. So what do you have? Hit me with something I've never seen before.
Okay. Today it's a movie that is trending in Netflix top 10 as number 5 in the U.S. today.
Mm-hmm.
It is a movie from 2020. I don't know if I said that. 2020. The title is The Prom.
The Prom. I'm gonna guess it's a high school movie. This is tough. It's either a horror movie or it's a rom-com, and I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say it's a horror movie. This is a real Carrie sounded situation here. I've never actually seen Carrie, but I understand at some point she's covered in blood at a prom. So that's kind of what this seems like. Just calling it The Prom, it doesn't seem enough rom-com-y. You know what I mean? Like there's not enough rom-com in that for me.
Yeah, Prom might have made it more rom-com-y.
Yeah. If you just called it Prom, like just Prom, then I could see that more, something like that. Actually, that actually sounds a little more musical to me, honestly. I probably would have got musical if it was just called Prom. Probably would have done something like that, like a Hairspray situation, which again, I don't even know what that's about. I know it's a musical, but I'm not sure what it's about. But either way, it doesn't matter. This doesn't feel rom-com enough for me. It feels horror, but horror based around the prom. So I'm going to say, and if it's Prom, then I'm going to guess it's a girl. I'm going to say it's her horror story, not a guy. I'm going to say it's because it's a bigger nightmare for the girl to have a bad prom than the guy to have a bad prom. So I'm going to say it's a girl. It's a bad prom experience for her. And why is that? If it's a horror movie, then there's got to be like a ghost or something. Some sort of ghost or something that's haunting her, I guess. I'm going to say there's a ghost that's haunting her, goes there, takes over the boyfriend at some point. What do you call it? Like embodies the boyfriend, whatever, like goes into his body or whatever.
I think embodies is.
I'm pretty sure embodies is the complete wrong word. That would be that the boyfriend was consciously doing it, whatever. It doesn't matter. But either way, the ghost takes over the boyfriend. Oh, here it is. The ghost takes over the boyfriend right before they're about to have sex. That's what it is. We're going to have sex on prom night. Ghost takes over the boyfriend right before they're about to have sex. And then she's got a real exorcist situation on her hand, where in the original Exorcist, I'm pretty sure like there's like a graphic scene where she like pleasures herself with a cross or something like that.
Oh really?
I don't think I've ever seen Exorcist. I've never seen it either, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that where it's like, and it's like pretty graphic. Like she actually does it. Like the little girl actually, she basically blasts herself with a cross. I'm gonna say that it's one of those types of situations where the boyfriend is kind of going to do it or whatever, but there's like the ghost, the demon or whatever is inside of him. And so she's got to ward him off or whatever. And so, she's throwing corsages at him and shit like that, whatever to get off, to get off of the prom situation.
She has a lot of corsages.
I'm saying she has at least one, so there's like some petals coming at him. Take those. Well, I mean, she got those.
So she's just getting him away, throwing him petal by petal.
Yeah, but have you ever had like you put a corsage, or what is that, a boutonniere or whatever?
Normally females wear them. Yeah, corsage is like on your.
Yeah. But have you ever tried to put one of those things on? Those little fucking those little pins. Those things hurt. Those things hurt like a bitch. So, so he's like climbing on top, like she grabs that right off of his chest, right? And boom, she jams him with it, that sort of thing. Like, look, I can't play the whole scene out for you. I mean, I can't tell you exactly, tell you shot for shot exactly how it went. Let's say she fights him off, right? But it's prom night. It's right about when they're about to have sex. The ghost takes her over, all that thing. That's what I think happens. Tell me I'm right.
You were close when you heard the word prom without the. It is a group of down on their luck. You said it was a musical type thing.
Ah, damn it.
A group of down on their luck Broadway stars shake up a small Indiana town as they rally behind a teen who just wants to attend prom with her girlfriend. But it has a Glee kind of feeling for the movie. So I don't know.
What?
In the preview, what happens is this, the main character, she wants to take her girlfriend to the prom, but they don't want like same-sex couples going to the prom together, so like the PTA doesn't allow it.
Yeah, that makes sense,
then
right?
she posts about it.
Bigotry and all that. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Then she posts about it on social media, and so all these this little group, and it's actually Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep, James Corden, and Kerry Washington is kind of like the villain PTA mom. But it has a lot of
villain turn for Kerry Washington. I love Kerry Washington. Love Kerry Washington.
I know, I do too. So she's like the uptight PTA mom who wants everything to look just so. That's her character in that. And then Nicole Kidman, James Corden, and Meryl Streep are down and out like Broadway stars. So like they used to have careers and now they just kind of hang out in bars, and they saw this and they're like, we're going to go fix this. So they just show up in this Indiana town where everyone can sing together in the hallways, and that's like the basis of the movie. I don't know, they were making the main character, I think, feel more accepted in society or something.
Okay. All right. Let's Jesus Christ. All right, so you're telling me that I'm supposed to believe, number one, first of all, all right, okay. Broadway stars, right, work an incredible amount of shows per week, right? There's not a lot of time to just go on a little jaunt over to fucking Indiana. Like like your schedule.
But I think that's the whole point of them being like
just doesn't
failing.
Work. Hold on, doesn't work. Yeah,
like
look, I'm getting into this. Yes, I'm getting into this. This is my point. I'm getting.
Sorry. Okay.
Just let me cook. Let me cook here because
I'm sorry. My
because
bad.
You're about to rebut. No. You're about to rebut with something that makes no logical sense whatsoever based on who you told me the cast is. Okay. Again. Successful Broadway people, like people who are employed on Broadway, who are like, hey, guess what? I like to sing and dance. I'm good at singing and dancing. And so I'm going to go to Broadway to sing and dance. Those people work like 7 days a week. I mean, literally 7 days a week. I'm pretty sure they do like 8 shows a week, right? Maybe you get 1 day off, something like that, right? Maybe you get 1 day off. But if I'm coming from out of town, I want to see the A cast, right? I'm not here to see the fucking B cast. Like, don't show me the fucking backup, right? I want to see the goddamn understudy. I want to see the person who signed up for this, right? If I'm going to go to Hamilton, I want to see Lin-Manuel, whatever his name is. Like, I want to see that guy. I don't want to see, somebody else, right? I want to see his understudy. That's not what I paid $1 billion to go see Hamilton for, right? So they don't have time to just be hanging out, going over to fucking Indiana whenever they feel like it, okay? Number two, if you're going to tell me that fucking Nicole Kidman, Meryl Streep, and James Corden are not fucking talented enough to be employed on fucking Broadway, you're outside your goddamn mind. That is so unbelievable. It's mind-blowing to me that you would have those people. Like, if you put me on there and you were like, yeah, this guy maybe used to sing, but now he sounds like this and he looks like this, and like nobody wants to employ him. All right, maybe there's something there, right? But they're going to go over there, and fucking James Corden is going to go over there, and everybody's going to be like, oh, whatever. Like, what's that shit, karaoke in the car, whatever bullshit that was that he does? Like, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, like backseat karaoke.
Dude's got a great voice. Like, he's got an unbelievable voice. He's very charismatic. Like, he's got there's a reason that he has a fucking show. I don't even know if he still has it, but whatever. Like, there's a reason that guy is a host, right? That dude is incredibly talented. You know what I mean? Like Meryl Streep. You know, I think she's a little overrated. Honestly, like lately, she's a little overrated, but she's a great talent, right? She does some unbelievable stuff. Now she just kind of like does her, you know, now she's basically just does Meryl Streep and all the things. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, I get it. Like, yeah, she's good, but like, let's calm down. Like, she's not fucking breaking barriers anymore. But either way, she's incredibly talented, right? Nicole Kidman, same thing. Like, she's very talented. And so you're going to tell me that those people can't get a fucking job on Broadway? That's horseshit. That is absolutely horseshit. Those people would not be down and out. They would not be down on their luck. They're way too famous to be in this movie if that's going to be the role that you play, right? Now, Kerry Washington as the bad guy, unbelievable casting. That's fantastic casting. Kerry Washington can do anything. Anything at all. Literally anything. I don't care who it is. Kerry Washington can do it. I think she's very good. Honestly, she was really good in I Think I Love My Wife, where she played Chris Rock's love interest, I guess. But like
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But I mean, it's not like it was like a super famous movie or anything. I think it was relatively successful. But she was in it. She was really good in it. I thought she was great. You know, obviously, you know, she's great in like everything she does, whatever. But she's awesome. So her being like the bad guy, number one, great role for her to take. Like, I think that's an awesome role. I think she should do more of that. She just looks like she got that look. You know, she can get that look in her eye where you're like, oh, like some sinister shit is about to happen, right? Like, she's gonna bring some stuff there. I've never seen Scandal. I don't know what that's about. But I get the feeling that she's kind of a hard ass on that one, right? Like she got a little streak to her.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And that's the thing where I see that I'm like, I think that's exactly what she was made for, honestly. Like, she's great at playing everything, but I think she's made for that. Like, where she got that like kind of sly, like, I'm gonna double cross you and you're not gonna be able to do a goddamn thing to stop me, like that sort of thing. I think she's fantastic at that. So I like that. But if you're going to tell me that fucking Meryl Streep, Nicole Kidman, and fucking James Corden are going to roll up into the middle of fucking bumfuck Indiana to fix these backwards people or whatever they're trying to do, and they're just going to start singing and dancing and doing all this shit. Oh, number one, these people are going to go into a fucking high school and do this? Like, you can't do that. You have to sign in. Like, you're going to sign in and be like, oh, who are you here to see? And they're like, oh, I don't know. This is this random person that we don't have any fucking idea. And then this girl is going to be like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? Like, hey, friends from fucking New York City who apparently are so down and out that they have to be in a fucking bar and seeing this shit on Facebook or wherever she's posting this shit, and they I don't even know where they're getting the fucking money to go to Indiana in the first place. But now, okay, hey, thanks for coming over here. And you think the principal's not gonna be like, you think Kerry Washington, who doesn't want a girl to go to the dance with another girl, is gonna be like, oh, but that's fine. Let's get these fucking weirdos out here who just randomly showed up from New York City. Let's get them wandering around the fucking hallways of our high school. You think that shit's gonna happen? Absolutely not. There is no believability to this movie. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They should have cast somebody else. If they would have cast other people in this role, I honestly might have been okay with it. I might have been okay. It's still a little far-fetched that they're like, hey, let's leave the bright lights and big city of New York, because these are fame-hungry people, right? Like, if you want to be a Broadway star, you got to have, there has to be something inside you that wants people to see you, right? And so there's very little chance that you're going to leave that. Like, you are always chasing that dream. And that's a hard dream to give up. And so if you're down on your luck, that implies that you're still trying to make it. And so those people who are like, nah, fuck it, let's just give up. Like, I don't believe that for a second. But fine. But you can't have like three of the objectively most talented people in the world just rolling over to Indiana. Like, hey, what's up, Bloomington? You know, like, you can't, like, that's not how this shit works. You can't just have that. That would literally be like what's the movie with Gina Davis and what's her name where they drive off the cliff at the end? The two women's names. You know what I'm talking about? It's with Brad Pitt. It's Brad Pitt's like first role. Is like first big role. Thelma and Louise. That would literally be like Thelma and Louise age Brad Pitt just rolling into a fucking high school prom and everybody being like, yeah, that's normal. This guy's not that handsome. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. Meryl Streep and James Corden and Nicole Kidman can't roll in just unnoticed to a high school in the middle of Indiana. It's not possible. That doesn't make any sense. I hate that. I hate that about this. Like, if you're going to do this, you got to make it way more believable, or you got to cast people who are not that famous. Having Kerry Washington in there as the PTA, that's fine, right? Because I'm sure in Indiana there's at least one or two attractive people. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I kind of get that. Like, that wouldn't make sense. You can have these other people, these uber talented people, they're just going to roll over there from New York City? Absolutely not. There's zero chance that's going to happen. I have a lot of problems with that. I do not like this movie because of that.
Do you have a problem with the fact that they're doing kind of like a Glee ripoff?
Honestly, I never saw Glee. I have no idea what Glee's about. I know it's a musical. I know.
I mean, it's like a musical, not really like I mean, I guess, yeah, a musical is where they act and then all of a sudden where they do dance numbers, but the dance
Yeah.
numbers aren't necessarily like part of uh they aren't always part of the actual storytelling in Glee. They're sometimes literally just random dance numbers.
No, but see, I don't have a problem with that though, because basically the people that I've seen on that show, and I can't even name any of them, but like I know I've seen like stills of them or whatever, and they were like way more attractive than real people, you know, like just normal everyday
Most
people.
of them are
like,
also not like famous before they were
right,
on
right,
the show.
right. But that part, like that's
to
fine.
your point.
Yeah. But forget that part. Like they're obviously super attractive, but they're just all in the same high school, right? It was a high school thing. So they're all at the same high school. And so I'm just like, I could buy into that. I'm like, all right, well, this is just like a high school of handsome people. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. It's like beautiful people go to this high school. Like now I'm in, right? That's a very easy thing to sell. Like, hey, guess what? We just have beautiful people at our high school. And I'm like, great. Like I have no problem with that. My problem is if you were like, no, we have a beautiful high school, right? We're just, everybody's beautiful. Everybody is beautiful. And then we just got like a troll high school next door. Right? Actually, not even next door. We got a troll high school halfway across the country. And just a couple of these beautiful people, who, by the way, are obviously talented and obviously going somewhere in life, in whatever pursuit that they want to go. Number one, because they're good looking. And number two, because they have some talent behind them. And they're like, hey, you know what? Let's uproot our life and let's go to the middle of fucking Idaho and just hang out with some people in the outskirts of Boise because we feel like it. Like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah, I would have a real problem if Glee was like, hey, by the way, at season 5, we ran out of storylines. Let's just send them over to Alabama. You know, I'd be like, no, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. That makes absolutely no sense. Like, no, absolutely not. But if you're all in one place, now I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have no problem with that. If you just want to sell me, just like, hey, we got a high school. It's beautiful people at this high school. That's what's happening here. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, obviously this high school doesn't exist, but that's fine. Like, I don't have any problem with that. They're gonna sing, they're gonna dance, they're gonna do some stuff. I'm cool with it. I have no problem. But if you're like, no, these other people at the beautiful high school are just going to voluntarily move, uproot their lives, and just go hang out with some ugly people. I'm like, nope, I don't believe it. I just don't. I just flat out don't believe it. I just flat out don't believe it unless they saw only Kerry Washington. They didn't see this girl. I don't know how cute she is. The high school girl.
I think that the main character is average, but her girlfriend looks pretty cute.
Okay. Yeah, but all right, but so like one average, whatever. It's like, nah, you're not appealing to me. You know what I mean? Like as a person who's like gonna uproot my life, you know. But if all they saw was Kerry Washington and they were like, whoa, if this chick's the head of the PTA, then maybe we got something going on over here. Right now, I'm like, okay, now I kind of get it, right? You know, because again, like beautiful people want to be around beautiful people. That's just a fact. That's a fact of life. You know, nobody wakes up. There's literally nobody who wakes up and like, hey, you know what? I hope I see a lot of ugly people today. Like that just doesn't happen. It just 100% doesn't happen. Everybody wants to be around good-looking people. Like that's just a fact. So if those people were like, hey, we can't make it in New York, which again doesn't make any sense. Meryl Streep, James Corden, like all these people who are uber successful, you know, they're like, oh, whatever, we can't make it in New York. I'm like, all right, well, you're full of shit, whatever. But if they're like, okay, we can't make it there, so let's go to Indiana, where I guess we could make it. I don't really know what you're gonna make or whatever, but like, all right, let's go over to Indiana. I'm like, okay, now maybe I can buy that if what they think is that like everybody looks like Kerry Washington, right? But I got a real problem with these people who are just so talented, like objectively oozing talent. And everybody's like, they're down on their luck, so they headed over to fucking the middle of nowhere, Indiana, to help some people out or whatever. I'm like, no, that's a bullshit thing. It would be more interesting if they were successful people and they were like, hey, by the way, fuck the shows. We're risking getting fired because we think this is such an important thing, right? Now, maybe I'm on board. But you can't just have some down on your luck people. I mean, seriously, like, think about it. That'd be like looking at Matthew McConaughey and being like, hey, you know what? This guy's not employable. You know? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. That guy's always been talented. He's always been great in everything he's been in. And people would just look at him and be like, no, I don't see it. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. It literally makes no sense to me. So the actual story, like the fundamental storyline that you're trying to sell me here doesn't work because these people are too talented for what they do. So the fact that it's a Glee ripoff, which I still don't really understand because I'm not really sure what
I don't even know if it's
about.
a Glee ripoff, but it looks like they're the same audience that would appreciate Glee is gonna appreciate this. Like it looks like there's some scenes where like they're singing in the hallways. Like
honestly, yes, I do have a problem with that because they think that those people are stupid enough to believe that James Corden and Nicole Kidman and Meryl Streep would not be able to get jobs in New York City. And I think that is you treating your audience like a bunch of fucking idiots. And I think that makes you bad people. I think it makes you bad writers. It makes you lazy. And honestly, it's super insulting to everybody who likes Glee. Yes, I agree. 2 thumbs down. They're insulting Glee. I'm not a fan.
I'd say I'm about neutral. I'll probably watch this, but I also wrote Glee, so.
Oh my God. That is so ridiculous. So you have no problems. You have no problem. Like you just watch this and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I could definitely see Meryl Streep not being able to get a job.
I don't look at it like that, and I never will look at it like that, and that will never bother me. I don't really understand how that fact bothers you so much, but I don't understand half of the things that bother you. Like the half of the things you get impassioned by.
Like you understand. You understand that James Corden, literally his entire career is based on the fact that he's a good singer, right? Like he literally hosts a nightly show, right? He's like a Johnny Carson disciple.
And I've heard Nicole Kidman actually, she sang, she did Moulin Rouge. Like, I understand.
But you understand that they have been successful. Like, these people are worth millions of dollars based purely on the fact that they can do the things that are needed on Broadway. And this movie is based on the fact that they do not possess that ability. Like you understand that part, and that is not a factor for you. That doesn't matter to you at all.
No, that's not why I'm watching the movie. They're actors.
That is fucking bananas. That is absolutely bananas take. That is an unbelievable take by you. It's absolutely bananas. It doesn't make any sense to me. I hate that. It's a 2 thumbs down take to me. I think that you are giving way too much credence to this. Like, again, these people are literally successful for the thing that they are trying to pretend to not be successful for. That doesn't work. That doesn't make any sense. Even in a musical where you just randomly break into numbers for no reason, that doesn't make any sense. I think my version of it would have been better. I think my second version of it would have been better with them being successful and then leaving and risking losing their jobs. Like that would have been successful or more interesting. I think my original horror idea is pretty good.
I think that's one of the worst ones you've ever come up with, but that's just
what are you talking about? That's pretty good. That's interesting. Like the dude, she's like, no, I don't want to have sex with a ghost, and now she's got to fight off a ghost with like a pin from a boutonniere. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's like small. It's like a small version of fencing.
I like a lot, and I don't like that. So I mean, that tells you something.
Yeah, it tells me that you got shitty taste in movies. That's what it tells me. All right, so we did it. We broke this one down. What's this called again? It's The Prom. The Prom.
The Prom.
Okay, The Prom.
Ironically, I do think it should have been Prom too.
Yeah, 100%.
Prom evokes whatever. I even wrote down on my sheet of like queuing Prom because I didn't notice it was the Prom until right before I said it. Because it just Prom seems like The Prom, I thought it was like no. It's.
Yeah, the Prom is too much. It's too much. It's like it should have been an event. It should have been more. Yeah, no, that's not good. Musical doesn't work with that. I agree. Bad job on the titling of that. Again, just more bad writing that rolls into this whole thing. Doesn't make any sense. Bad casting. I hate this. You're okay with it. That's not surprising. But we've done it. We broke down The Prom. I think I won that one. That's okay. But people can give us their thoughts. What's the email they can email us? What's the email?
The email is info.plotting@gmail.com.
All right, so you can hit us up there. You can, like the video and, leave comments or whatever. We're also gonna make this, put this out on podcast. So if you want to catch it there, you can see it. It's the Plotting podcast. It'll be under Plotting. Otherwise, hey, you know what? We'll see everybody. We appreciate people, supporting and watching and, all that stuff. And we will see everybody next time with some more just probably garbage media that you've chosen for us. So